Hey KU fans, welcome back to another episode of KU Sports Extra here at the BOK Center. Maybe the Bach Center? What do you prefer?
BOK is what I call it.
BOK, he's hip. I'm Matt Tate, Tom Keegan here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, side of the first and second rounds of this year's NCAA tournament. And Tom, I think the obvious thing is a big-time recipe for struggling and failure in the NCAA tournament is to have distractions. KU's got a ton of those, but I don't get the sense that they're bothering them at all.
Well, I think that sometimes that can unify a team and they can spin it as us against the world, that kind of stuff. So,
Bruce Weber style?
Yeah. So I don't think I don't think it's going to affect their play, and I don't think that'll be an excuse.
Right.
If they get bounced early, but I don't see them getting bounced in Tulsa. I really don't. They have too much experience, too much talent, and their second round opponent will be a young team, either Miami or Michigan State.
Yeah, well, we talked about it a little bit too during the day here at the Bach Center Media Thursday. You can't ask for much more if you're Kansas than having a guy like Frank Mason lead you. And he's done that all season. Led him in scoring, led him as a leader, emotional, experienced, all those things. He's been that guy. So with 6 games maximum remaining in the season, to have that guy and that presence and that personality leading you into this type of event, that's an advantage that most teams don't have and that Kansas will have over a lot of teams.
That, and they have 2 point guards, which has been a formula for NCAA success in recent years. Devontae Graham and he have been starting together for 2 full seasons now.
Sure.
That's huge. And then the player whose talent translates to great competition better than anybody's is Josh Jackson, and that's why he'll be a really high draft pick. His numbers have been as good or better against ranked teams this year.
Right.
His shooting numbers have been considerably better from 3-point range away from Allen Field. I wouldn't be surprised, although I think Frank Mason deserves College Player of the Year, National College Player of the Year. I wouldn't be surprised if Josh Jackson is this team's best player in the NCAA tournament.
He's ready. I mean, he missed the last game against TCU because of the suspension. I talked to him a little bit about, do you feel like you owe your team? Do you feel like I got to do something to make up for that? And he said, definitely. I mean, he didn't try to hide it or downplay it. He said, absolutely I do, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But it's in my mind, and I'm ready to go. I think these guys, his teammates, don't feel that. They don't feel like he owes them because they feel like they should have won the game even without him. So it's kind of a cool thing. It speaks to that unifying force that you talked about. These guys battle for each other. These guys love each other. These guys play for each other, and that's what's made them such a good team all season.
And they're a great team to deal with in terms of in the locker room. We don't get access in the locker room until the Big 12 tournament. That was a very short Big 12 tournament for Kansas this year. So we do get access in the NCAA tournament. And other than Udoka Azubuike, who told me he did not want to do an interview, which shocked me. I don't know why. All that's going to do is lead to speculation that he somehow is going to miraculously recover and play in this tournament, which I don't believe is the case. So
nor do I.
That was shocking and disappointing, and I think a bad job on Kansas's part not to prepare him better for that, because he's great to deal with and he's a real gentleman, and he didn't come across that way to the rest of the nation today. I don't know if anyone else tried to talk to him other than me, but that was shocking and disappointing.
Before we get out of here, let's take him off the table and let's say maybe there's one player who will surprise people on this Kansas team, and I'm not talking about Mitch Lightfoot or somebody like that, but a contribution that this team gets here in Tulsa or throughout the tournament that really helps turn them into one of the favorites to get to Phoenix.
Well, the obvious choice for that is a choice that everybody's been making all year long. Every time he has a good game, which is about once in every 4 games, would be Carlton Bragg, because you see the ability there. He's a big man who can run the floor. He's a big man who can shoot. He's a big man who can pass. So he's got a lot of basketball skills. He just hasn't put it together. And I think if they run a couple pick and pop plays for him where he can shoot from the outside, maybe that will trigger him to play well, because that's always going to be his comfort zone. They need him on the inside, but maybe that's a way to get him playing better on the inside, is run some perimeter plays for him.
Yeah, it's a good call. Bill Self said he likes where his team's at. He likes their mindset. He thinks they're focused. They worked hard during that 8-day layoff. He thinks they're ready to go. Those were exactly his words. I know our crew is. For Tom Keegan, I'm Matt Tate. We're here with Benton Smith, Bobby Nightingale, and of course Nick Krug. We'll have all kinds of coverage throughout the week and weekend. As long as Kansas is still playing, we'll be there covering them. Thanks for checking out another episode of KU Sports Extra. We'll talk to you guys after Friday's game, 5:50 against UC Davis, here at the
BOK Center.
BOK Center.